Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's finally here. I'm so excited. This is my very first episode here on YouTube. I'm Player2Davy from TikTok, if you don't know already. I do a lot of transition videos with makeup. And so if you know me on TikTok, that's probably what brought you here. So welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn all of your notifications to all so that you can get all of my videos in the future. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. First, I like to start off with my eyes and making sure that I set a nice primer down to get a nice even base and so that everything goes on really smooth. I typically start with a primer from MAC, the Painterly Paint Pot. I love this stuff. It has lasted me forever. I feel like it gives a nice even base. It helps everything blend smoothly. So this is usually the one I go with. Another option is P. Louise. This is a really great base. It's kind of tacky. You have to warm it up in your fingers before you actually use it. Another good option is the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. It's a little bit more affordable in my opinion. Or you can always go with the tried and true Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. So for today, I'm going to be using the MAC Painterly Paint Pot base. This is in the shade Painterly. I love this stuff. It goes on really evenly. It makes everything blend really well together. And it gives me the kind of pigmentation that I like in an eyeshadow base. So here we're going to go ahead and apply. Just roll the brush around in the pot and coat all over the eyes evenly. Just make sure to get into all the cracks and crevices, smoothly blending out until you reach the desired coverage. Okay, so this is what it should look like when you're completed with putting down your eyeshadow base. I did use a fluffy brush. This is an EcoTools brush, just your typical run-of-the-mill eyeshadow blending brush. I use it as a packing brush sometimes, but this is what I use to put on my eyeshadow primer. Next is the Smokey Eye. Today we're going to be using both of the Juvias Place palettes in Nude and Chocolate. These are some of my favorite palettes. They are the most pigmented eyeshadows in the world. And I think they come at a really affordable price. You can find these at Ulta. All you have to do is just go to ulta.com or you can shop them at juviasplace.com. So for today's eyeshadow look, we're gonna be using Morphe brushes. These are some of my favorite brushes on the market. They're very affordable, easily replaceable. If you find that it's shedding too much or you just wanna go for something new, this is a wonderful brush to go with. This is the brush M441, and we're going to be using the first color out of this palette today to start this look off right here. There are no shade names for this, unfortunately, but we're going to be using this shade right here. It's a nice warm beige. So here we're going to go ahead and dip the brush in just very lightly and then apply to the eyelids. Sometimes I use a circular motion or a packing motion. You can use both as long as you distribute the color evenly. And I will place this near my brow bone so that way I can accentuate right underneath my brow and then work my way down with darker colors. Okay, so now that both eyes are completed, let's go ahead and move on to the next color. So in this next color, I'm going to be using this dark taupe right here. It's a nice warm color and it's going to kind of bring a little bit more depth to my eye, giving it another layer of color. Okay, so going back in with the same brush, just tap off the excess and then work from the outer corner going towards the inner corner, not going too far up this time. You want to make sure you spread the color out evenly, so usually I'll use a back and forth swiping motion. Then you can feather it out towards the corner of your brow to create a cat eye effect. Okay, so now that we have both eyes with the second color laid down, I'm going to go ahead and be moving on to the third color. However, I'm going to be reaching into the Chocolate palette by Juvias Place because as the shades are a lot more darker and they're going to build up a lot more depth. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and dip into that darkest third shade and work it very carefully on the outer corner of the eye, working its way inward. And then this time, definitely using small circular motions to kind of blend it out into the other two shadows that we've already laid down. You kind of want to taper it off again, working towards the outer edge and bringing it upwards to create more of a cat eye, just like that. All right, so that is it for both eyes. I'm gonna be doing one more color. However, I will warn you that whenever using a really dark color like this, you're gonna wanna use very little of it. Otherwise, you're going to end up with too much darkness building up in the corners of your eyes. So I just take my brush and I barely dabble into it, and then I go in. Here we go. All right, again, so we're just gonna dip back in and then very gently go into the outer corner of the eye, feathering it just into the crease. You don't wanna bring it too far inward. This is going to create much more depth and make your eyes pop. All right, so that's it for both eyes. I'm pretty happy with these results, but you're more than welcome to go back into the lighter colors and just kind of build on top of it to blend everything out more evenly. Now for my smoky eyes, I always like to add a little bit of pop. So I'm going to be adding a metallic shade actually from the Nude collection. I'm going to be using this shade right here. It's kind of like a nice peachy nude beige tone. Very, very beautiful. It's almost like an iridescent color with a little bit of green. All you have to do is just take your finger, rub it in here, and then pop it right on your lid. Okay, and now we're going to be moving on to everyone's favorite part of their eyeshadow routine, the eyeliner. Don't be afraid. My number one tip is just be confident and draw a straight line the best that you can. I'll show you where I start and I end my line, and then I'll show you how to fill in the gaps. So here we're going to go ahead and place the eyeliner on the outer corner of the eye, being very gentle and careful as to where we place it at first and work towards the middle of the eye. Then we're going to take another line and aim it downwards towards the corner of your eye and then just fill in the gaps. Then I go into the inner corner and I bring it very slowly across the top of the lid just above the eyelash line and then drag it over. You can adjust it to give it different varying thicknesses. I like to have mine on the thinner side, sometimes thicker, depending on how dramatic I like to go. So next is going to be an extra step that you don't necessarily have to do. If this is kind of the look that you were looking to achieve today, thank you for coming to my video, but we're going to keep going here. I'm going to do a black eyeliner on the bottom lid and kind of enhance this for an evening look. We're going to be using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eyeliner pencil. This stuff is a little expensive, however, I find that it lasts the longest out of all the products that I've tried in the past, and I've never really had any issues with it. This is in the shade Perversion. So we're going to apply it to the lower waterline on the outside and then smoke it out with a brush. Okay, now that that's done, I'm actually going to go into the palettes again. I'm going to be using the second color that we used right here. Now, I'm also going to be using this same brush that we used to apply our top lid, and then I'm going to go in with the second color. So now we're going to go in and dip into that color and then pull your eye down a little bit if that helps, and just sweep under the eye right next to the waterline. Okay, the second color is applied, and then finally, I'm actually going to be going into the very last color that we used, which is this one right here. But again, I'm gonna use a very small amount, and then barely go into my waterline and smoke it out. Ta-da! Now you have yourself a nice smoky eye. Now we're going to move on to mascara. All right, that is it, everybody. This look is finally complete. I'm really happy with it. I hope you are too. I hope you learned a thing or two on this. Typically after this, I would go into my face routine. Again, I will show you that in another video. All of the products that I used today are going to be in the description down below, so make sure to check that out. Again, make sure to hit that subscribe button and then turn all of your notifications to on so you can keep a lookout for my next video. I love you all so much. Bye guys.